Good morning. Welcome to the Lorain County Board of Commissioners meeting of November 2nd, 2021. This meeting will now come to order. We will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
And our inspirational word for the day comes from Corinthians. These three things continue forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love.
Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Here.
Commissioner Moore?
Here.
Commissioner Lundy.
I'm here.
Okay, we'll begin with a public hearing. We have Timber Creek Tiff hearing, and to speak today on the topic of the Tiff hearing is Rob Duncan, our Director of Community Development, and Don Romanchik, Stormwater and Community Development Coordinator, and Natasha Kresap, Economic Development Special, Lorain County Community Development Department. So welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. I want to thank you for this opportunity. As you know, we were before you a couple weeks ago talking about a project for the homeless and in community development. As I said, we have the holistic approach. Today we're here to talk about the Timber Creek TIF, and this is a public hearing which is required by law. Real quick, tax incremental financing, known as a TIF, simply is for the purpose of redirecting a portion of real estate tax payments so that the money can be used to pay for public infrastructure improvements that do benefit the parcels in the incentive district. And the important point that I want to make this morning is that there are no additional taxes because it's often confused. People think with a TIF that they're going to be taxed more. However, each landowner will pay the exact same amount that they would have paid normal real estate taxes without the TIF. And that being said, I would like to introduce today to you Natasha Kresap, one of Community Development's rising rock stars, to give some of the specifics, details about this TIF. Natasha?
Thank you, Director Duncan. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you again for letting us speak today. As Director Duncan mentioned, a TIF allows the redirection of funds to fuel public infrastructure improvements. With Timber Creek TIF specifically, we're concerned with a turning lane off of State Route 82 and 83, and that of course provides a very important crossroad and making sure we have a transportation corridor, and also the safety of the residents that are using those routes to get to and from whether home, work, or running errands. And we also have a very important infrastructure improvement of the Easton Township fire station. At this time, unfortunately, it's in dire need of repairs. There are leaks in the roof. There's only one set of small bathrooms. They do not have workout areas, training areas. They have limited space in their bays for their trucks. And there's no dormitories. It was originally built as a volunteer fire department. So as the population has increased and as we're seeing even more growth in Easton Township, we would like to make sure that we have the proper safety service measures for the residents of Easton Township. So that's what Timber Creek TIF will entail as far as creating the housing, yes, but more importantly, making sure that we have these safety services for the residents. Are there any questions? Nope. All right. Thank you so much.
And Don Romanchik, were you going to speak? I had you on the list.
Thank you, Board. Just real quick, seeing as we've had limited turnout, we do have Dick Konetkus, myself, and then also Alan Schaeffler from Ulmer. If there were any questions that the Board may have, about the project or the improvements that are being proposed. The only point of clarification I want to make is that with the fire station, they need to be capital improvements, so we cannot outfit it using a TIF. We cannot buy equipment or fire trucks. So just so everyone on the record knows that it would be for capital improvement, a true renovation to make this building habitable. And Natasha and Dick Connecticut's from Easton Township shared some pictures with you to give you an idea of some of the conditions where you can see black mold and other lack of a quality structure to really house people who we depend on to keep us safe. So with that, if you have any questions, we're happy to ask. If not, your pleasure.
Commissioners?
So Midview and everybody's been informed, properly notified, no issues there?
They have been informed in the conversations that we've had. The school has not opposed it. They understand that there are needs. They wish there was a different way to fund them, of course, but they have not opposed it. And this is a 10-year, 75% TIF, so this is wholly within the bailiwick of the Board of Commissioners, so long as we provide adequate notice to the schools, which has been done.
And the notification also went to JVS as well?
Correct.
I just note on the information sheet here, it says refurbishment of Easton Township Fire Station. I think we want to make sure that's Eaton.
Yes.
So I don't think those folks down in Columbus should be getting a fire station from us.
No, we need to bring the money back from Columbus,
Right,
not send it
exactly.
to.
Yeah, the other way around. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Connectus, did you want to add anything, sir?
No, I have no comments at this time, Commissioner, unless there were some questions that you might ask me. I'm here just to represent the trustees and our fire crew. One of the trustees is a fire.
If you're going to go into story mode, come on up here.
One of our trustees, Jason Monsheen, is a full-time fireman, and he's on duty in Tiffin today, and he couldn't be here. And I'm just here to represent and find out for the township what you did in regard to this hearing of the TIF. If you have any specific questions, I'd just like to reiterate what Natasha said and what Don said, that the station was built originally to house only volunteers. It was only built to house equipment. There was nobody on duty for the first 15 or 20 years that the building existed. Everybody would be responding to a emergency call by going to the fire station and then marshaling out the equipment. Currently, we have people on duty, 2 shifts a day, and we're going to be putting a 3rd shift on at various times at our most pressing times of emergencies. And we've seen during the response to the pandemic that we are having significantly more calls, so that we definitely have needs to have the building structure itself improved significantly, as was stated in the request. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them, or at least to convey those questions back to the trustees.
So on the renovation, is there going to be an addition as well?
Pardon?
On the renovation of this fire station, will there be an addition as well?
Going to be what?
An addition to the
No.
structure?
We don't have any way to make an addition. Currently, they are studying and looking at whether we could be capable of getting a design for a new station that we would then submit to the people for decision as to whether they would finance the building. But this request is strictly to improve the structure as it currently exists and to keep the rain from leaking in.
I'm just
virtually
curious,
all
is there a
parts of the
basement?
building. And the fire station itself was built when the fire equipment was much smaller. So when we have the fire trucks backed into the bays, there's this much room between the front bumper and the doorway that it has to exit at. And when the people go and try to get their equipment, they have to avoid all of the equipment. So we have a lot of space conditions that we would like to improve inside so that we could respond more effectively.
Is there a basement? Is that going to utilize that
no
space? No
basement.
basement, okay. All righty.
And all the trustees are on board with this? Any
Yes, they are,
opposition?
Commissioner.
All set, Commissioner Moore? Yep. Okay. All right, any further comments from anybody? Alan, do you have any comments that you would like to share? Okay, thank you. Okay, I will move to close the public hearing portion of the meeting.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to B, Clerk's report. Madam Clerk.
Tomorrow at 9:30, we'll have a commissioners meeting, and then Thursday at 9:30 will be our last of our budget hearings.
Okay, is there any further business from this board? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Don't forget to vote.